also need to have some reflection on this map as well, right?
T1
You know what,
managed to win the first map, but they are losing in pistols. So let's see if they can win in pistol here. We've got Nongshim on attack, we've got T1 on defense.
But certainly we can't expect a
And
lot of action.
Nongshim go for the pressure wall over towards B, which honestly teams have been struggling against, especially when you have Yorus.
But instantly met with quite a bit, so they're going to have to trail off.
Yeah, a bit of early utility use from Nongshim as well, but you got to remember, deadlock changes means that Gravnet does come on back, so being able to use that
it's really nice sims, but
B-main control, some garage control, not a bad idea.
winter is a nightmare.
Go about it, but a reposition in the mid. Buzz sees a lot. No one's going to give any more forward doors.
And smoked off. Gate crash expired from Izu as well, though, so he's already fallen back to a safer position on towards the top of A ramps. But this is where, with those positions pulled away, Nongshim tries to reaggress in towards B. Danby still could just, like, burst in all of a sudden.
Yeah. You have wasted a lot of T1's utility, though, to do the job.
Okay, they at least, so T1 had a little kill setup over towards mid with the Almond Flash, but as soon... My goodness. Oh my god. As soon as they were doing fake pressure over towards B, they had to get rid of it. And Sylvan has to do a lot here. Okay. Well, I imagine Buzz threw a nade because a lot of them were down low, unless they were just tanking the Viper. Oh, they were tanking the Viper.
Barrier mesh to block off CT, so you're going to have a bit of a reposition from Meteor. No one's going to give you a challenge there. Try and buy some time for Stacks to get on in, but where would you even try and contemplate throwing the Haunt to try and set Meteor up? You got to rely on your element of surprise.
Don't know if
oh, I think Stacks saw him.
That's just true enough. Given how Danby's jiggling back and forth, holds the line now. It's just Meteor who's
very nice.
Underneath Hell, and Francis
3-0 on pistols.
In with the
They're good for
as
it.
well towards the end of it. So Nongshim very much aware of everything that could be happening on the map.
So one out of 4 from what we saw from Nongshim on the attacking side of split last time, but immediately a infinite increase in first kills for Danby. Getting 0 last time on this map. He gets it immediately in the pistol round. So to infinity for Danby on this waylay.
Oh my gosh. Infinity and beyond is for the player on the other side.
But what region do you think you'd have most trouble coaching in strategy-wise, assuming your team can compete?
Still continuing
I'm not sure, man.
They got the guns, so why not?
I still kind of look at EMEA and think it's... I'm not saying free, but I think it could be a top 4 team very easy out of all the regions.
Let it be
apart from China, obviously.
So far have gone to the side of Nongshim. Say that, but they still lost the first map.
I still think America's, man. I think America's looks tough. There's so many teams that you're meant to beat that can beat you.
They've got Margaret deep in towards the B site, cutting noise, buying a little bit more time, and it forces T1 to think. So T1 back in towards B. Buzz will find.
Yeah, I'm not saying EMEA is free, but I think
I don't really know if you want to take a Marshall in towards
I think it's probably one of the easier regions to be a top 4 team in.
With this one, if he
especially with some of the teams reads on the meta at the moment.
Because currently, Nongshim planting out the spike.
Run. Takes quite a while, doesn't it?
It does. It does. It's not as bad as, like, Pearl rotates.
Yeah, it's way longer. At least for right now, kind of
law accurate. That's true. We've got the history to back it up. We'll ignore that 2.5 years in between and the fact that everyone's improved.
Around the map and
but in theory, the players that I would have improved as well, so it should scale well.
If not, up at the spike.
Yeah, more than likely to spike unless
you can't believe it, Boo. You can't believe it, but at the same time, I know you kind of agree. And I know you're watching some of these teams in EMEA play, and you're thinking, what the hell are they doing?
Points for Nongshim right now. I can't speak.
It's all right. We had a great first map. But we're only bangers on
I know you won't say it, but I know you're thinking it.
T1, so let's actually see where their strengths are going to lie on this defensive side as well. What early challenges there's going to be. I'm interested to see as well, more importantly, when we're getting a lot of these attacking rounds, what differences have we already seen in this short time for Nongshim?
Let's stop talking about EMEA.
In their practice, in their reviews.
Big buy rounds. Nongshim want to just hit over towards B, smoke over towards Heaven.
Big time right. So
got Gravnet close, Salvo's deep, and there goes the B hit. They did okay. It's still doable. They get over towards the site.
But into the smokes, Margaret, what are you trying to pull off? He pushes out all of a sudden, and Meteor backs away. He finds the frag. Francis now trying to reposition, still carrying the spike. A minute and 20 seconds left on the clock. What can he do?
I didn't say it's free. I'm just saying I think being top 4 is
but then you got to
one of the easier regions,
you know, a team like T1 is
other than China.
1v1s.
Holding the positions. You got a bit of a high-low with Buzz up on top of Raptors, but Meteor, as soon as he spots a bit of an inkling of a shoulder, he continues to go forward.
Okay, maybe he will give you a 1v1, but he's just going to win it and remove your head from your shoulders. On the board are T1 on this defensive side, and again, you know, I mean, I know I keep harping on this and everything, but it's T1 playing the same things that they did over at Masters, right? The old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So they've got a lot of different strategies and ideas in their repertoire that they're going to be able to deploy in this map that Nongshim really need to come through with some great mid-round decisioning. I think that Persia is gonna really be tested in this map.
Quite a bit.
They're going to try force this.
Byron back in.
Okay, how do they deal with the drone? No drone?
Well, he's not there, but here goes.
That's not how I would play my first rounds. Oh god.
Francis down to low HP.
I get it. They smoke, they have salvos, they think they're good.
Now what do you look to do to bring some recovery back into all this round as Nongshim?
Yeah, it's just the one pause that would absolutely annihilate them. And I'm wondering if T1 have done some research, and that's their normal default over towards middle, because they bring this out on the big buy runs, and this is a setup that punishes the most standard mid default you would imagine Nongshim has shown a good amount of, even in one demo. So I'm going to give props to T1's coaching staff or IGL.
You have to do it from your
Maybe
own
this was
side
stacks,
of
who
the map.
knows?
You're not going to be able to lurk in through B or in through A as Nongshim. Yeah, I mean, you kind of got it with this position, right?
Yeah. Well, 30 seconds to talk things through. So, I mean, what we've seen right now is instantly kind of what, again, big
What's my current top 4 in APAC? This is the thing, I don't even know who to put third and fourth.
I don't want to say obvious, but flaws.
There's like 6 teams that could be third and fourth at the moment.
But without any, you know, true support.
Yeah.
It's just a free frag for Buzz.
I mean, you also got to remember as well the way the mechanics work.
When the team stopped doing solo whaler camps. Okay, so for people that haven't watched Nongshim play this map before, their defense is really good. They probably need like 5. It looks horrible to play against. I will say that T1 have the best comp for it though in terms of double dive. So maybe I'll up this to 6.
His position really then is unnoted.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see it again. We'll see it again here. Like, you can't check that position. If Persia is shrouded stepping in and Danby is getting in the dashes, he just massacres you.
More like a flash or a stun to, you know, bolster that attack. But at the same time, you know, towards the end of it, Meteor got a pick up against, I believe, Ivy. So more alt points as well for the other side. But here it comes, T1
the movement's
launching a bit of a showstopper straight in.
The movement's nice on this one.
Nongshim towards the back of mid.
Okay, they go for 1-for-1, but honestly, this 1-for-1 is worth because that's the passive pressure over towards A.
Pivotal components of what Nongshim's plan
So you can now just hold A from spawn if you wanted to.
Now you've lost all of the
Or
control
this
there as
works.
well, right? It's going to be information that unless you're putting a dart cover down from Persia, you can leave just a single member in stacks there to look after all of A.
T1's. They don't got to worry about no more lurks outside of A.
T1 really don't have to move too much around the map at this current point now.
Yeah, I mean, because Stacks getting early info, you can definitely... I'm not even sure they needed to rotate Meteor over, but maybe because the cut is sound. Okay, he should be able to rotate now. Yeah, cut is sound. He wanted someone to cover this while he covered vents. We'll go for the 2-2. Just the vent sound keeps the 2 here for sure. Smoke's gonna push them back behind the... Sorry, Flash gonna push them back behind the smoke. Oh, Danby did really good. Out control the whole time, dodge the flash, drone goes in. 20 seconds.
Keeps himself hidden, shrouded in mystery
Big
of
flash.
this dark cover. Works around the back line.
Oh, what a flash this was.
The flash continues to find targets. Persia, though, will make quick work of both of them alongside Francis. So a bit of a spike plant now. But still, the retake with information at hand for T1. Hunt instantly reveals. So now thinking about possibly Garage. Oh, but a bit of a slight blunder. Head exposed, allows for Persia to pick him off. Low HP though is Francis, and Meteor looks for the one-on-ones. Right around the pillar. Oh, smoked up. So you gotta work around the edge of it, but as he sidesteps away, shots fired, Persia
5
comes back
HP.
to double down on the spray.
5 HP on this one. I think the comms are a little bit hectic because the 2 on site could have played better. Like the flash looked good. I thought they were both going to double swing left. Oh, he tanked an Omen flash. Okay.
Some nice shots
So good.
coming forward on this Yoru, of course. He's starting to be really proficient, you know, making that agent his own on this map for quite some time now. And I really thought, you know, when you're looking at the repositions from Nongshim, you got to go up through mid, you have to go in towards B. I still like how they're able to quickly decide what utility they want to layer in to try and take the space. This time for the new round, we're not seeing an early grav net over towards Garage, so this gets Izu onto the line. Is it a bit of a false sense of security here? That's an awkward miss, but at least he gets out.
Yeah, a little bit. Still, though, it is space afforded to Nongshim. A second gate crash back into safety. Meteor, unfortunately, trying to refill a little bit more, will pay with his life.
Yeah, I was going to say, not on for the luck, yeah.
Buzz getting gunned down towards the top of Mail as well is going to hurt.
It's an incredible round for Nongshim to win.
5 versus 3. I think you just got to cut your losses in this one.
Right, the 3K for everyone that's going to get 3K.
Right? The fact that Izu is getting caught off guard in the very early beginning with that operator, right? You're not seeing any first utility come out from Nongshim. It's a different look for a play towards B, right? Where they delay it just a little bit. It works a treat. Again, then you have that grab net for the side itself, and who does it actually find this time? It's Izu who has to gate crash out a second time. Unless you're trying to get in quickly with that dimensional drift and go in for a pretty quick retake, and you're taking out.
Yeah,
like,
hit the first shot here, if it's a different round, but
it really is difficult to get a good retake on that B site unless you're removing a couple of these members early on for Nongshim. So it is the wise idea for T1 to go for the save here, have this weaponry for the next round to try and set themselves up. You know, do they want a dimensional drift nice and early to get somebody else on the line, or do they want to really just hold it back for a bit of a retake? These are the decisions that they're going to have to make now.
And this is where the responsibility does fall onto the shoulders of Stacks as the IGL. You know, what's the read going to be? Thinking about the grab net from before, this is where Nongshim's mental conditioning definitely comes into play against T1. So trying to position themselves across, it's Izu, maybe closer towards mid. But Nongshim, a quick A hit trying to take down in towards the top ramps. The grab net does land as well, though.
Not able to capitalize.
Oh my god, this is kind of nice. The good Omen flash.
Okay,
Whoa, who is that? I mean,
just to hold down the line. Meteor holding the as well.
I do. Okay, I heavily respect that Danby went for that, but that is absolute insanity.
Just to Francis, and he's able to push even further up. Does take control over Heaven, and with this spot, he might be able to get his way into the site, but Izu up from behind. Does note his position as well. The op not quite yet fired. Francis has a chance.
He's on for the 1 versus 4, and he's forced out this dimensional drift.
Okay. Pushes Francis a little bit closer towards elbow. We know where he is. Meteor trying to spray and burst at him away. But Izu out of the great crash. Now hops over with a
Okay, they handled it very well. Dude, Sylvan hit a great Omen flash. Omen flash over towards Heaven. It tanked Danby only, and Danby just sends it through the wall. Just because, I mean, they've used so much and they've invested the ult that anyone here should, in theory, be hit by his ult, right? So he's just trusting that his team's going to trade him. I just still disrespect it. There's a couple of duelists there that would back out.
Snake bites aren't what they once were. They're not as damaging in the very beginning when they're first.
I would honestly prefer the whole team to back out, but
on T1 side, just some good, you know, quick.
You would imagine the team would trade him
from them as a whole at the end to keep this one in a tight little contest.
Yeah, very quickly. Do have to note that Meteor did kind of reposition himself from vents, so that could be something that Nongshim is trying to work against this time. And there it is. much more of a stack closer towards mid, and they do deny Izu any opportunity.
I like this little change up as well, because they've been fighting here a little bit because of their default, but
look at the space that Ivy is just finding with this scary annihilation.
oh my god, is this
but
perma crouch as well now?
Okay. Buzz was caught in the grav net, by the way, so stuck in the vents for a little bit. Over eager from Stacks as well, and Quack, well.
There is so much going on. Double Omen all back of sight at the same time.
Stuck T1, Meteor is still able to anchor as best as he can. Spots
No
down,
way, Ivy got double here.
The shot lands square on Meteor's head anyway. 1 on 3 for Buzz.
Yeah, Ivy is poisoned in this round.
Margaret as well, quite literally the poison in terms of the agent. Buzz has no idea.
Yeah, and Margaret should win.
Out, and he kind of knows that they're closer towards the pillars. Maybe Garage, but there it is, Margaret.
I mean, Ivy did incredible
Another one
here.
back over to the side of Nongshim. So they have found more attacking rounds now than they did against RRQ. So credit where credit is due to them. They've been able to, you know, what we might presume is learn from their mistakes, play towards more on their strengths.
It was perma crouch, but he satched out. It looks
so far, and some good patience as well, right? Changing it up between speed and slow, and then just hitting their shots where they need to as well.
Have to admire it. A lot of variety. Pilsky, are you watching this? Are you more convinced now with the Noxim's attack side?
That's too early to tell.
that's a great.
Buzzer gets a kill, gets all.
Back towards what they tried on the pistol round before getting stalled out by the early utility of T1. They will gather some garage control, but
lose speed control.
There's no real
well, this is nice though.
Pick that one up. So maybe you are trying to just bait in T1 to see what you can find. The destruction of the sensor.
Yeah, I liked how T1 did. T1 have definitely looked at some demos. Like I know there's only one demo out there from Nongshim RRQ, but they managed to take a lot from it.
Aware enough to check.
Yeah, Francis is not leaving any stones unturned at the moment.
Definitely very
oof, that's nice.
Chase as well on the shorty. That's the waylay that you want to see.
Yeah, this is really, you know, we're seeing Darm be more set up by the team, and the team being more coordinated.
Yeah, 2 ops at stake as well.
Try and set him up, and the small gap,
right,
for
the plant. Neon a day. Thank you so much for the prime. Appreciate the
You
aimons.
need some good combinations, right? It's not like you're throwing your utility immediately when you're dashing, right? There's slight, you know, changes in times that comes out as opposed to where you would have a jet.
Or even just, having a little bit more information
very,
before
very
going
nice.
for it. I mean, it is, you know, slightly anti-eco for Nongshim.
Yeah.
But still, we are very happy, as is Chobra, with the watch party on the other end right now.
Okay, hang on. I'll admit, I might be getting too far ahead of myself because that was Darby's 3rd kill. I feel like he's gotten a lot more value in this map so far in actually finding the space for his team to get the kills. Where
he's getting space.
Which again,
he's not wrong.
That's still value.
Take what you can get.
Yeah, he's right, but there isn't really a stat for space made.
Met with a couple of rounds of
Tech just one split with a deadlock. I don't think a deadlock's lost yet. Am I wrong? Has a deadlock lost yet in VCT since the new update?
I mean,
I think it's 3 for 3.
This is actually quite scary now that Nongshim have actually managed to find 6 on this.
Maybe someone in China.
When I look at their composition, I think
is wrecking my stats.
That's pretty damaging on the defensive side, right? You've got Ivy playing on the deadlock, so you're going to have walls and grav nets for days that you need to try and bait out. You've got Margaret as well, when you've got these walls and these smokes that you can chop and change up with Persia too.
We've seen a lot more than 3 deadlocks. Oh boy, then I reckon my stats sound good.
Darby's actually going to use the hinder more importantly instead of trying to refract in for these frags with the light speed and everything. You have to try and contend with so much on the defensive
side. Many APAC teams are waylay pilled. Honestly, there's a lot of teams that are waylay pilled.
Struggle for RRQ, not to mention when they're just getting timed out on the rounds.
I chuckled, but yes, Komodo, you are absolutely right. T1 definitely.
What happens if both teams play deadlock? Then you just ignore the stat.
Got the double duelist, but right now, a lot of it is being tampered with. Izu though will continue.
You ignore the head-to-head.
To keep himself up in an observational post with that op.
Okay, timeout for T1. Izu gets the op-out. Buzz has his ult. Nongshim go for the same default. Set up the trip behind B. It's very hard to clear, obviously. We saw it with the smoke earlier, but the Nightmare to try re-push over towards B. one of the other reasons why Deadlock's good on this map. You actually have like a default that makes sense in terms of one of the trips. Oh, that's nice. Locked in. It felt like
Nonetheless, it's going to be Stax who now
there's a world where Stax blocked him here. I would have to see it, but I think it was just the rope.
I'm actually looking at all the utility, and they just got caught out trying to escape the vents, trying to get out of it because you got to go down one rope.
We've seen a couple of ults like this that cover vents that just look sick. It looks a little bit like what you know when you have a Brim ult and you can't really go lamps on bind. Looks a little bit like that you can't go here when people have a tail. Was it Nats that got caught out with the Viper ult? They got antied. Similar thing to what just happened. Similar ult. Not the anti.
Yeah. Okay, but Izu still
the great flash, man.
Nightfall instantly coming out from Stax, providing additional support. Izu re-peeking back and forth. Maybe
no way.
His face is gonna be able to buy a little bit more time for Ivy.
Incredibly hard to win this, but
Ivy shots fired, and they instantly know where he is. Oh, Sylvan, though, trying to take him down to one-on-one. It does buy the attention away for Izu to find the shot in the back.
Izu did really good.
Around back up against Noxim.
Yeah, really well
I like T1's win percentage when they get an op-out on defense is so high.
Enough heat over in through mid or anything over in through B to really force him to get out of there and reposition and help the rest of the team. You'll see on the replay, yeah, it literally was just caught in the ultimate because it's what I said. You got to go down one rope and get up.
Oh, he's Deadlock instead of Vice.
Really wise,
pretty much just via. Well, honestly, the wall is good on defense as well. Like they're a little bit different, but the Deadlock recharge net is
it's gonna be Izu
not a good idea by Riot, in my opinion. I think Deadlock's in a mad spot at the moment.
Just gives him so much control. Now they switch up the defensive setups. It's Izu closer towards B, marking down Garage if anyone from Noxim does decide to push up. Noxim, however, this time trying to aggress in towards A. So you can see this is where
good info though.
Some of the adjustments coming through, possibly.
Could be tempted to ult this, especially if that Prowler gets shot. You must be so tempted to ult this.
I wonder how itchy Buzz
he must be even more tempted to ult this now.
Yeah, very much. He's getting there. It is. And there it is. Flashbacks through. Oh, just for the
Danby nearly tried it. I like the idea. He's trying to refract as the ult went off. Ult goes over towards Heaven. They get the info that they went towards Vents. So Sylvan should probably smoke in front of him when he gets it back.
Into position around stairs. Has to be careful though. He does have the paranoia and he's trying to set up for it.
Izu for the first contact op shot. Can gate crash out.
Oh, that's beautiful. Sylvan and Marcus back as well in case anyone does come in with a split push out from Garage. Oh, but a whiff from Izu. Still back in from Meteor.
That's the spike.
The Viper's Pit finds the spike. Yeah, Sylvan flashes out, positions himself safely in towards Garage. Meteor though, ooh, a little bit of a whiff, and that's going to be Noxim picking the spike back up. They can still make this round work unless Sylvan puts
smoke yourself.
It's not going to happen. Margaret takes him down. It's just Stax now. With a sledgehammer, trying to break it through. Takes down Persia, but down to 5 HP. This is way too tough.
Same. Yeah, he had a chance to smoke, yeah. And then as soon as you smoke that, you create the pressure that you would have crossed, and then everyone's focusing over towards here. Then you don't even need to do anything, and Stax can play. Never going to feel comfy to plant until they have one holding here, one holding here. Yeah, that miss shot from Izu was kind of costly though.
Before you can even get the plant back down. Really well played out for Nongshim. I thought that round was looking especially hairy for him.
5-3.
Mid-rounding.
5-3 in China, 0-1 in Americas, 1-0 in EMEA, 1-0 in Pacific. Wait, who lost in Americas with Deadlock?
Won't have an equalization at the half. We'll have a Nongshim lead no matter what. But will it be 8-4? Will it be 7-5? Have we seen enough from T1 on this defensive side? I think my answer is no, just given by the differences in these comps as well, right? When you contend, when you
C9
double duelist versus
that Imi guy. Imi's out here ruining our stats.
Pool like Nongshim are running here.
Yeah.
So this round is going to be, you know, quite important for T1. You talk about
that
the
guy,
round and you're all tied up. If
damn
not,
guy.
Can certainly start off their defenses quite
Did
strong.
they love an insta B pop?
Yeah, last round of the first half. Why not just dump everything into the site, refract away as well. And here comes Persia in for
that actually looked nice though.
Approach, finding one towards the top of heaven.
And you're going to give the plant over towards Ivy here as well, so you can get the Annihilation back online as well as the pit. But the Dimensional Drift in now for Izu.
Oh, but he's blocked by the wall, the barrier mash. So teammates needed to kind of break that apart.
Just like spam me.
There's going to be a little bit more information, but just as he comes out of the drift,
I think Nongshim got way too many rounds here. We said they needed 6 because their defense is pretty good. They got 8. T1 will have a good time against it, just purely because they like to heavy hold choke points and they can just dive over it. But I still feel like they got incredible comp on defense for this many rounds. The Waylay stuff, they had some nice rounds. Even though the Waylay score isn't good, the Waylay impact was pretty good.
To draw attention to his body, but then his team
we might be putting this in the 3 good maps.
But to get 2 or 3 going in together,
they might be joining the G2 and Tyloo.
That is, you know, them
a good map on Waylay.
Their own little recipe for Waylay with this composition at the moment, which now, yeah, it changes up for them on this defensive side that they go to.
Yeah, as a very dashing young man on a desk said, you know, it takes time for Waylay.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
They fixed a lot of what they were doing wrong last game. They fixed a lot of Waylay not getting isolated. That's very true. I feel like the Waylay is pretty much always getting traded or in a position to get traded.
That previous round, it was quite lovely to witness as well. And this is, yeah, you know, you kind of mentioned it a little bit.
It does just look like they use it. It looks like it's a lot better when you use it as like a giant decoy.
Very successful defensive side last week against RQ. Point of discussion that our desk has been bringing up here and there. Just to put things into perspective, how successful that was. It was 9 wins in a row.
Yeah, flawless on the defensive side. Do I think that that's going to happen here? No.
Probably not.
Mini Titan, sorry that I missed your gifted.
Like,
Thank you for doing that, Mini, if you're still here.
I mean, I don't think it will, don't get me wrong, but it could.
Sit up a little bit.
It's quite clear that, you know, T1's
it's been 80 minutes.
Some of the protocols.
Dude, I just miss all. I miss all of the gifted these days.
Dimensional Drift went out. The shorty at hand from, I think, was Francis, just in case Buzz would show up as well. That said, though, T1 starting things off a little bit split across the map.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think you got to just really figure out how Meteor's
going to be wall goes up, smoke goes up. Use the drone to insta-clear this, but...
or the whole team being behind him, specifically when you're using a really
see, the drone to clear this pressure is like, oh my goodness. Because it's really good against...
Straight out from this toxic screen, he comes in, finds one shot,
what are you actually meant to do?
He's so good, man.
I was going to say, it's really good against the Cypher, but Viper can just pop up stuff instantly.
Thinking about Margaret on the other side. Still, though, this is a lot of space, a lot of effort then for our T1 to really consolidate everything.
It's kind of cool, though. Satchel in, you're looking at the raise, so you have to eat the flash. And then, obviously, the raise is hard to hit.
And at this point, if you're Persia...
Mini Titans, again, another gifted. Thank you for doing that, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. I mean, it's the first pistol that they've managed to get. 3-1 overall.
Would be closer towards heaven. At some point, he's going to have to possibly watch his back. Utility would reveal his position a little bit further. So he's just waiting for them to push on through, but oh, the shot's not quite found.
Very nice.
Making use of that little wall.
Izu got an orb and a pistol. Sorry, an orb and a plant as well, right?
Yeah, first pistol that they're going to be.
It's kind of close to his ult. They could definitely try snowball the Yoru here. This is just beautiful.
You know, on the back of Meteor getting all those kills, exploding back in towards the site, right? A Waylay could never. And that's one of the differences that we're going to start to see in these little aggressions into these sites, right? When you've got flashes available from your Yoru, when you've got some satchels that you can fly and strafe around in the air as well for Buzz, you know, it does open...
Set up sound alerts for gifted to scare the bunnies every time. Okay, instant deadlock GravNet into double salvos and send it. Oh, and Francis has been left out in the open. While that was trying to happen, they tried to walk into A and B at the same time. I say walk into B, faced it one way.
Still, I think it's fitting. Nongshim getting into
so they see a lot of aggro over towards here in terms of 3 players, and then tried to take the 1v1s.
I think it's Ramyun Maybe
At least the people on the sides didn't have the best guns. Speaking of guns, I thought the barrel was going to give it away here.
Instantly back in with Danby, trying to position himself around the pillar.
That's a shame. If Danby actually hit his, no idea what it's called, slow-mo grav, slow-mo grenade, what the hell do they call it? If he actually hit that, he might have been on for a couple of kills there.
Second round.
Saturation? Saturate? Guys, I can't call it that.
T1, which, I mean, in the very beginning, not too crash hot at being able to do so, with Stacks and Meteor falling. Now Sylvan as well, but you do recover a little bit, and you'll take 2 guns in towards the next round. So all in all, I mean, you back up your pistol with your second round. No
Hinder?
Where you drop
Yeah, Hinder's better.
And now, I mean, if I'm looking to
the slow
notes,
right,
that's better. I'm thinking, again, this defensive side of Nongshim's, just with the agent lineups, it has to be
that frenzy.
So you really need to be in the early.
He had light armor, right? Had to have light armor.
He
got wrecked.
The utility, making sure that you can play it together in numbers or find some right.
The bubble. I like the bubble. We're calling it bubble.
Rotations. You know, there's so much that I feel like T1 are going to have to do correct here.
Okay, first big buy rounds, and Nongshim. There's been a couple of teams that have started to use this more, like, right? You want to fight heavier over towards middle, use double layer, first smoke layer, now into second smoke layer. There's a period where no one was doing this, but they're bringing it back. Go over towards middle. They set off the deadlock sensor. Oh my god, that's that's a lot to shoot though.
Taking down Sylvan, goes for the next one. Maybe the next.
Oi.
It's the 3rd kill, and he's
One
running
bullet.
out of ammo.
Be great though. So calm during all of those duels. I still like this from T1. The boom bot at the same time as the flash is nice. They're kind of eating the flashes. They shoot the boom bot and then their aim's on the ground.
Back towards the A site. You got to remember, Meteor's wall is currently over here.
Getting
as well.
blind kill
So
is gonna be unlikely.
That isn't a bad idea. You got salvos that'll come online soon for Francis. You got a lot of that utility there for Danby as well.
You say our brains are rotten, I can't even call an ability by its name. Yeah, but mate, have you seen the names that they call these abilities?
Do note that Izu is one away from the
I'm not taking the blame for that.
You're not going to try and bring any priority on towards using that in this round. Or hunting for it.
Bait a reaction out with that fake gate crash. No sound just yet from Nongshim though, but you are absolutely right. They do have no salvos back up. Spike still planted, 7 seconds.
Oh boy. Well, you know what we were saying about the waylay has normally been going in with his team.
Francis and Margaret
that's probably our fault.
slowly creeping up, trying to make use of their
He's killing everyone and has to kill everyone. He has his ult if he wants to go for it.
Gate crashes in towards elbow.
You can toy with him as well.
Yeah, could be a
could fake TP.
Margaret
Big TP into swing.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
Nail in the
It's
coffin
beautiful.
at the very end of it all. All 5 kills in round 15.
We have had a lot of aces so far in VCT Pacific for this stage.
Dude, Izu's insanely impactful.
Of Izu to just do it around from starting in the middle
that 1v2 on the big round that made... Wait, I think he's got like 3 clutches now.
The Hinder go down from Danby, the Saturate, and I'm thinking, why is he jumping down onto the side by himself? I know his refract is popped, but there's so many angles that he has to clear. His team is nowhere near him.
That's the 2nd time that he's kind of done that now. Yeah. So it's a little bit painful to watch, surely, but still, nonetheless, it's T1 beginning to catch up to Nongshim's scoreline. Slow and steady is the race, and Nongshim looking to
Izu, yeah, he's doing
pressure.
He's doing a madness.
One way towards Ramen.
Had that big impact round to save him on Icebox. Has a big impact round to save him on Split.
You can also get a gun upgrade.
I don't know if you want to use it in this round. Clone out, footsteps found. Oh, sonic sensor placed, and they know where he is.
Wait, but they hear the sensor, so they're gonna clear this guy.
That's the first shot, but just as it gets fired. Sylvan for the trade. Ivy back in towards Mail, still close range with the Stinger.
Oh, how much damage a Gravnet could possibly have done just then as well.
And that's when T1 peels off. You've got Meteor up towards A.
Yeah, but he's seen nothing. No over-aggressions from Nongshim. Now Izu incentivized.
Hey, fake over towards B. Let's see how the 2 on A react. They swing out. They try and take the solo duel. Oh, he's going to have to... Come here.
Noting Francis' position. Good stun though, but the flashback in it as well.
Look at this jewel on elbow.
Shorty and hunts down the next stacks for support.
No,
The
don't use the
Annihilation
ult
gets
here.
Now of all times, but I don't know how useful it's gonna be. Ivy at least still uses the Stinger to spray and bait them out of position, but Sylvan marks all the way down towards the back of the ramps. Double kill found, and that brings T1 up 8-8.
I mean, you got to think as well, if they're trying to go for a plant and you're able to pick up the planter, right, that buys time, that gives a little bit of scurrying for T1. They have to try and reclaim the spike and get a bit of a plant in there. Do like the little trap plays in towards mid, right, on the expectation that the clone is going to be thrown in first, then putting out the sensor, but with the trade that already does happen first there, and you know, he's not able to play off his own sensor, unfortunately, in mid as Ivy, it doesn't really work out there. So they try their best on their little eco that does come through on that round.
They're all, yeah, they're just trying to, I think he's trying to just make a play off the plant and hoping he gets the spike planter, because there's like, what, 15 seconds left when he goes for it?
Huge flip off towards the other side. Maybe this time
it's just way too desperate.
Them somewhat. I mean, the round that I really like.
It still isn't super bad for Nongshim, to be honest. They've only lost one by V-Buy.
Pushing down mid. T1
They would have loved this all into the round, but it's like 8-8, and their defense isn't, well, they're up against double duelist.
That I'm going to see in a scenario like this is you've given, or you haven't really given it.
Like, it's still not that bad.
Momentum. They're figuring out what's working on this attacking side, and Nongshim is still a quite young team, right? They're still learning all these stage environments and how these games will play out and everything. So they got to figure out their own way to get back into
Izu
it, right?
gets the
And
op out on
you're
attack.
Seeing this Waylay have another pretty rocky performance, right? You got to not let it get into your own head as Darby.
Honestly, he's been so good. Let's let him do what he wants.
Really have a good discussion and have some good decision makings as well, right? Because I mean, it's unfortunate as it is, and I'm highlighting it because it's something that they can work on.
Oh boy,
that's two peaks that they've lost, both of them. Two open peaks.
Okay, Francis trying to get ahead of it.
Okay, it's a good reply though.
Good little kill. How much is it going to
Easy,
provide?
what are you doing?
Are
we flashing off the boombot again, or okay?
Lurk's eliminated, but here comes the flash. Yeah. The burst in towards Mail, and instantly up towards the top of heaven with that blast pack. It's just Persia here. He does deal with the first, but then Izu for the trade. It's all too clear for T1. Francis
Izu is unbelievable right now.
Instantly marks and spots him out.
And that's straight after a timeout as well. So I know, you know, one of those things where it's percentage rates for a team after taking a timeout. It's not really working today from my memory on the back of that one.
Bacon, what do you think this is?
I want to highlight, right, Meteor just getting the open peak over towards A to start things off, that open peak in towards mid, and then it's just strength in numbers, right? The steamroll in towards the B side, stretching out through mid. It's just, you know, a couple of sharp shots from T1 and pretty clinical to close it out from there.
I have to imagine, you know, a little bit of that mental game as well. These like Stacks, Buzz, players that you respect and revere so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's not stale by Nongshim by any stretch of the imagination, right? They're still trying to generate these different ideas.
Bacon is right.
Defensive side,
I think you got the wrong streamer for that.
Between haste and passive plays
repeatedly. Yeah, at least right now though, Nongshim once again trying to set up for a bit of a trap play.
But it's like Izu is the right agent to be able to get out of a trap play, right? So it's like T1 is still playing to their own agent strengths as well.
Okay. Oh,
no way.
That's gross.
A bit of an attempt by himself, Ivy, but still quickly dealt with by the next player from T1. Izu backline support once again. Barrier mesh dealt with.
The nades kind of means that
oh, into heaven.
Damn, you gotta do a madness here with a stinger.
Though, and it's gonna be a little bit of help, but
God.
shots, a bit of a blunder, and Sylvan happy to capitalize.
My eyes, man, my eyes.
That's a catastrophe.
Not like that.
Everything crumbles.
The Omen ult was so good as well.
T1 come away with a flawless round. So far, flawless on this attacking side.
And it's just, you know, not just
it's
the
falling
round
apart.
Well,
it really is falling apart.
The scoreline and the economy for Nongshim. This is where things really makes you feel like you're down in the dumps.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why sometimes you got to take time out, right? You got to have a discussion with your coach. You got to rely on them coming up with a game plan, right? One of the harder roles that we're seeing some people in our region see in these, videos that we're seeing from them is, coaches are in a hard role, right? So there's so much importance on, I think.
Are we switching to EDG? Yeah, we'll watch EDG.
A winning idea here.
We'll see what they're doing.
Right? It's one foot in front of the other. This agent lineup that they have can be very
might be good timing, right? Has the game started yet?
But I really think that T1 have done their research well, coming in towards their series. Their mid-rounding is looking really good, whether or not they get the opening kill or they're losing it. Again, one of the biggest things is Meteor's timing and Meteor's presence or presence that isn't there over at that A site, right? With these walls,
he is
with
or
up and down. Yeah.
Did Zeto win Icebox? Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
XQQ's the GOAT, man.
Constantly haunting them round after round. T1 does have a
honestly, Zeto need to get XQQ on a contract for like 5-year contract, man.
There's a lot of tape studied up from that.
Get him on that 5-year contract.
But we'll see what Silkenon has
just
cooked
lock
up
him
at
in.
least for this round. Nongshim and the likes of Persia, they've been trying to set up for some of these.
He's proven knows what he's doing.
Here and there. Ooh, and we get greeted with our good old friend. No! I haven't seen him for like.
I was gonna say it's a rare one.
Several.
It is a rare one in
I know
APAC.
that Kalios
they
were met with one last week.
Well, here's another first, I guess. My first tech pulse.
Oh yeah! Congrats, Komodo. Welcome.
Who are we contract jailing?
And
I'm saying that XQQ should be on a long contract.
It's been good so far, though. So I do count my blessings. This is, it's all right.
They don't look good without him. They look good with him.
A great showing in kickoff against the old Talon on this map with their old agent lineup, right? When they were running like Persia on the Astra, Dami was on the Neon and stuff. But I think there was a lot of glimpses.
Used up all the tech pauses last year, yeah, all in that one go.
That they could come up with some cheeky reactions and play off the back of the util damage, right? When we're looking at this, we're not really seeing options on Nongshim's side to play off the back of the util because we're not seeing great deadlock combos with Gravnet and with Salvos.
How's Zeto doing? They look a lot better. Week by week as well, they're showing improvement. And I think the map will might actually be alright.
Combos are looking to be set up, right? When we're seeing Ivy playing at B Tower a lot and we're expecting these Gravnets to come on through mid, T1 are not going.
My Pacific power ranking, mate, I have no idea what goes on between like 3 to
right? Or if they are, they're just sending Izu in, who's playing Yoru
9.
Out, right? Yep. So these are the sort of ideas where it's like, you can't play on the back of a lot of this utility that this composition is going to potentially be strong on, because T1 are playing a composition that can get out of those scenarios.
Happens a lot. We've been seeing it with Izu, highlighting this Yoru very, very well.
Yeah.
What am I bottom 3? I'm not putting my bottom 3 out there. If I was going to do it, I'd do it all in one video.
Small tech.
And not just drop in the bottom 3.
Something that we were kind of
it's crazy.
Before we started the second half, but we haven't really seen too much of just because T1 has been picking them off.
Yeah, that's it. If Nongshim want to give up a site here to potentially even full retake, I mean, you're just giving T1 all of the space to set up a stronghold.
Yeah. Hey, Persia, gonna have to do a lot.
To explosion in towards this B side.
This is weird. They don't do the normal Yoru flash with this, and they kind of mess up the TP.
Can't quite shrouded step away. So he's being met with a lot. Buzz just spraying at his feet, but still, Ivy finally arrives.
The timing of the wall was incredible. And now it's gonna get a little bit weird. I love this reaction from Margaret though.
This is common, right? If you
this is the best possible reaction to knowing where everyone is. Yeah, hears them and starts pinging it out. Can confirm for the rotate.
T1 gonna be ready for Margaret.
30 seconds left.
Kind of looked and glossed over it though. Margaret still nipping away at the heels. This is a great time to strike, and there it is! The double kill! Margaret might have just saved the round for Nongshim. Meteor up from the top, has to do it all by himself now. Where could his opponents be? He's out of time. Persia just needs to hide. So does the rest of Nongshim. And as soon as the timer tricks away, they're on the board. Flushed out of position.
Okay,
Nongshim on the board, thanks to a timeout. And
Nongshim got to be careful here.
I do not want
The money reset is looming. It's close.
Gives a team a win, Quack. I'm not about that. I am not about that.
Yeah.
No, well done.
The deadlock wall here was so strong.
And again, to just recognize that you have a gap in towards mid to get a quick flank happening.
As well as the opening kills being found.
Still, it's not over just yet. T1, a lot of strong ultimates to be able to open up some space around the map and set themselves up for a post as well with that pit if they need.
Okay.
And you're just really playing the spread default here as Nongjim.
Yeah,
Okay, these are the two people that come by next. Dambi 1 away from all. Buzz oh, dude, this is a nightmare for Nongshim. Look at what they're up against.
Very thick playbook. Yeah.
And 1 away from this.
Have the bear match instantly up, and that does allow for Margaret to take Sylvan away.
Okay.
Showstopper traded.
Yeah. Sylvanul.
I mean, they got the smokes out of them. Oh, what happened here?
Meteor's Lurks is just getting the better of Francis again.
Dude, I think Meteor is like
and now you're cordoning off a,
maybe even it's at least 3. There's at least 3 and 0.
Right again, Meteor has done this so
from
much
Francis.
now. It's just so tough for Nongshim to deal with.
Yeah.
At least though, Ivy in position around screens looks to find some duels.
No way!
Strays and runs away. What is that? The triple no
Give me just to do it all, and Purge is in the best position ever.
Picks up the spike back in. Ivy kind of has an idea.
They're spread though, Quack. They're split, so they need to reposition to potentially do this together because of how low Ivy is.
Okay, but there could have been someone that went through vents and went over towards here, so he should be expecting.
Instantly sense it. Oh, paranoia. Kind of wish, but still is enough.
Dude, the
for
grab
Persia
net
going
is
for the swing and to pick up the equalizer for
so
Nongshim.
strong.
Yeah,
Okay.
A little bit unfortunate for T1 where Izu's in the dimensional drift and he's kind of walked two of his teammates into their demise, right? I'm spotting out the opponent, yeah, but you guys have got to win the duels. And
Doma, hello.
Hello.
How many ults did they get out of them? Viper ult, Yoru ult, Raze ult. Wait, that's everything, right? That's huge.
Being so proficient on this map.
What is that?
Is
What is that? That's so nuts.
Thankfully, this time though, Ivy able to find it.
Okay, wait, what's going on here? Francis is getting so owned over towards A. He's asked if he could buy an op no armor.
Kicking in the game. Francis with the op this time.
Yeah.
Trying to deal with Meteor from longer ranges, but oh, Demby!
It doesn't matter.
How many first kills has he got on A? It's 4 at least.
Viper's Pit though, down bottom mid, and T1 are looking to surround it. Fake gate crash. They still have Margaret still not giving up a single reaction.
They have 2 Prowlers still for stacks, all of the Fade util, which is going to be an avenue to get in towards this B side. If you want to just go back to Old Faithful, you can set up a gate crash to the back of the site, you can Nightfall in and just try and catch them off guard.
They still have the grav net, they just put this wall up. I think they have to fade all.
But something's happening around B.
At the same time though, just to shift the step over.
Oh, he heard him.
In with the lurk. Now he hears
he heard him.
Again, there it is.
Oh,
Margaret turns back as well. Spots him out.
Persia managed to get a kill for the smoke as well. No, not the smoke, even the TP backside.
The bear mesh broken, and
but they didn't try and combo. They took the TP before they fade away.
Hit with the salvos as well, instantly turns tail and runs away. That's the round for Nongshim.
I mean, when they get the idea that it's going to tend towards this B side,
they're almost. They've got 2-9 loss bonus, so they can buy next still.
Which was Meteor. So nice positioning from Margaret to be able to stop that one. And then, well, the remaining forces are T1. They're just going to come in through Garage, and that's why I highlight the importance of the barrier mesh, right? You cannot respect that and wait it out when there's that little time left on the clock. You're going to have to try and destroy it and get in towards the site where you've already then got the numbers started to rotate over for Nongshim.
Next week,
so really well played out.
I mean, at this point, it's going to let Meteor get a kill and then pop on it.
Your economy is near broken. Talk about needing something on the later stages of this half. 3 in a row for them now.
Goodness.
Take whatever you can get at any point in time. But this is 100% coach's timeout finding its value.
Well, speaking of, T1, they need to have a
Fatal
discussion.
right side of sight when you want to TP at the back.
Calling their timeout here to come on through because
you have no util for TPing at the back.
Flawless run on that attacker's side from the get-go. You're besting bonuses. You're just getting destruction around the whole map. And
this is actually the timeout for A looks weak.
It
really is the timeout for A looks weak. It does look weak.
It just comes through.
You gotta hit it.
They're still working around these somewhat default setups that they've been working with, but it's the timing of that barrier mash, or even just the fact that this time you've got Francis playing so much further back, not giving Meteor. Yeah, but Dambi still. It is what it is, but still, I mean,
at least he's laughing.
They were able to block off a lot with that. There was a bit of that Viper's Pit as well, so that's another thing to think about.
Yeah, important moments here in the tail end of Split. Don't even really want to consider Ascent just yet because remember, folks, this is specific.
Meteor? Oh no, Meteor's incredible.
Split, which means we should get overtime.
Yes, we should. At least now, take a look at what T1 might have set up. Keeping Meteor on the lurk. Francis and Dambi, though, together alongside.
Yeah, early drone. Early drone, sniff out a little bit of information. You know that there is someone there. You don't want them to progress too far forward. You're buying a little bit of time.
Yeah, they're literally just trying to create as much pressure on Meteor so that his crosshair can't be full focused on them.
Yeah, if you can try and get that deployed, it's great, but GravNet's a
walk over towards here, we might just see
you can't combo that
a straight up duel in Vents.
You can play it for some information.
Oh.
Double drop.
But right now, just bypassing all of that.
Yeah, they hear that.
Now it's going to be really crucial on how Meteor is going to use his wall to allow his team to play around it and how he wants to play around it.
Three-person heavy stack over towards A with the judge in heaven. If Margaret goes down, this could be a nightmare.
And I do wonder if Nongshim does go back to play a bit more retake at some point. Francis does have the Armageddon as well, but all of a sudden, here comes
Dambi did good to get one because he was getting pinched on. They don't know about the AWP.
Marking the positions with an AWP.
Prowler, Omen ult, same Omen ult as before. Three-person on site.
But here comes Buzz and Sylvan. Every position marked, every angle.
Oh boy, okay. Dude, A is so weak. They got 4 people here, they can't hold it. They can't hold the site.
I thought as soon as that first operator bolt was missed from Francis that the Armageddon was going to come on through and potentially make them hit the heels running, right? But no, it doesn't. Everybody starts to fall on through. You got it from the shadows repositioned to the back side as well, but just straight.
What are we doing, Margaret?
Just straight in towards the side.
Wait, what's everyone doing?
4 alive at the tail end of that, and that does mean we get all rounds of regulation to be played here on Split. So regardless,
we're on our way.
We're on our way, that's it.
All right. Look at these adjustments though, Komodo. Sonic sensors towards Vents this time.
Yep. A little bit deeper on, expecting a potential Izu gate crash play.
Alt still online for Nongshim.
If this is set up for mid and there's a GravNet deep mid, it could bring value.
Dambi judge. I mean, he gets one.
No information for Ivy. He's getting very, very antsy. Supported by Francis now.
Oh, they tried the GravNet combo.
T1 just avoids it, but here comes the timing from Meteor once again. Dambi, surprise, surprise.
How? The judge should always win this.
Uses this now to push up towards A heaven.
Oh god, he's got another one.
Well I think he's spotted at the back. You're right, Komodo. Still though, T1 will look to swarm past this dark cover, and here comes Meteor!
Oh boy, this guy's incredible.
Just striking from the heavens above. Off with a snake bite as well to block off any further rotations. Continuing to mark it down. Spots out the shoulder of Persia. Oof. A slight whiff, but that's okay.
Close.
T1 has the sight and the spike planted down.
2 versus 3 though. This is so important for Nongshim at the moment. You talk about credits. You have to get a kill. You have to do something now.
And there it is. Persia marking the position, spotting out Buzz. Back
Stax
to
still has a fade eye.
Ivy uses this to try to sneak in towards elbow, but Stax from the sight.
Okay, one last chance. One chance for T1 to do this.
To make it to
and A really is weak, man. They're going to defend A. Meteor keeps walking out over towards A and killing everyone.
All of the information that he's
How?
able to find as well. I mean, that shot is so ridiculous, but then his team waits for him to go through heaven before exploding out the dark cover, right? There's layers upon layers players and just trust in this team when anybody makes a call. And now T1 find themselves on series point here. But Nongshim, they will fashion
Izu gets the Outlaw out, and he can one-shot for... Wait.
What have you got for us, Nongshim?
Wait, what? There was a heavy armor here. He can one-shot everyone.
The tip of the spear and meteor. Bit of a
I think France has changed gun, maybe?
Has the ult at ready, but is that going to help too much? We saw the Armageddon from before.
I mean, we've seen some good strength from T1 in mid, right? So if you want to try and remove some strong positions from them, mid's not a bad idea to be deploying it to try and catch them off guard. You'll use your body to spot some information.
It's an idea. But you saw that. The grab.
He's just so good, though.
Yeah. Sure, but
just a couple of shots.
It.
Yeah.
Knows that they might be doing a trap play off of it. Already moving back before they even go for the util.
Well, right? A bit different than a fault line. Deploy from safety.
There's one of them that they can one-shot, and they're just sending it with this one. We've got a really important duel. The Omen Flash missed Persia.
Get back in towards the site for his team. Saturate landed at the feet of Sylvan, but
that's the spike. Got out of there.
Safety. T1,
and they think it's over towards A. The over-rotate comes in. 3-person. Smoke invested. 4-person. Oh, God, they've absolutely owned him with one Omen ult.
They've all rotated towards A bar one, and Persia, I mean, is he going to be able to do anything to stop the plant?
Meteor could honestly just... Oh, heaven here. Might be able to get it onto spawn. Gets it on spawn. Still no plant on this one. We've got 10 seconds. Salvos have gone. Nothing to stop the plant other than bodies.
Oh, but still Meteor and Izu able to mark it down. Ivy's gone, and that's Francis.
Crazy game.
Quick with the adaptations.
Nongshim had a really good go at it.
And bringing us the final score. 13-11. The bangers on split still very much in effect.
Meteor was just too good.
Talk about a close series,
Meteor was just too good.
Chat, let's quickly upload
this VOD and then